Hello and welcome to the preview of Hawkesbury. Matt Taylor, Mark Lambourne, hello there.
G'day Dallas Baker, great meeting that'll go to shit because the trainers will pack it in.
There'll be quite a few scratchings, but we'll do our best. And as you said, it is a really interesting meeting from a betting point of view and from a this time of year point of view, from a lot of point of views, and I'm really looking forward to it.
We'll just have to make the best of what we're left with tomorrow, but today we've got plenty to talk about.
Perfect. Mark, raining obviously in Sydney. We're just heavy track. It's going to be raining tomorrow at Hawkesbury.
Bit of surface water over there.
The park, Erskineville Park's off. We've called it off due to the state of the track and safety issues. Tomorrow it'll be raining through the day, so we're just playing heavy, aren't we?
Yeah, it'll be doing what it's been doing. Yeah. Really. I mean, there was a good period yesterday where it didn't rain, but it's always stuff coming through, shit coming through. It's not pouring the whole time. It's just good soaking.
Yeah,
rain.
but look, don't be turned off. We say it a lot, but this is a time of year we're really looking forward to, Matt. I think with a lot of the products, like a lot of betting in Sydney, I think most of the big places, King, Sean, Dr. Nick, Snowy, everyone has had the worst time of it. Darren just had the worst time of it over the last few months for whatever reasons. The ducks haven't been lining up for most people, and we've been part of that as well. So we know that for everyone involved in that, the tide is going to turn. And don't be put off by wet tracks. These are giving us a huge edge. I'm really getting confident about these wet tracks for everybody involved with the Punter Show in Sydney.
I agree. And if you put the work in, you can find the wet trackers, and having some of our stuff will certainly help you out.
Perfect. And two of the main things to help you out is our special Hawkesbury package, Matt, which is
Hawkesbury package.
A Hawkesbury package, the Mounting Yard Mail and the Race Speed
Profile.
Profile.
Accommodation with that as well?
Yeah. Buffet breakfast for two at the Hawkesbury Race Club Motor Inn.
Yeah, exactly. So the
which I think I'll be at tomorrow morning. I think that's where my breakfast venue is going to be.
Yeah, so the combination of Glenn at Hawkesbury on wet tracks. Glenn's back at Hawkesbury.
Yeah, he's made up with Hawkesbury.
He's had a couple of good results.
Yeah. He's getting on with Fletch. I think Fletch has already organised the tables and everything.
It does look like one's relationship with a racetrack has got to do with success.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and with Glenn, it's inversely proportional to the most recent result. But it's wet track, and I know with a lot of the race speed profiles that we've already put together, there's a lot of horses that you are questioning about what they are in the yard as well too, and they do. We've said it before a lot of the times, the race speed profiles in the Mounting Yard does marry up beautifully. Obviously Glenn's got his opinions, Vince and I have got our opinions, what we do from that, but if you culminate the two for the indicators that we suggest you look for, you get a very powerful tool.
Well, exactly right. Very hard to beat.
Yeah, absolutely. So $75 for the package, plus you get it for free.
Yeah, the boys at Bookmaker have come to the party again. So basically all you have to do is buy the package, and we'll send you a special promo code, and you just have to give them a call, mention the word or words, and they'll...
Secret words?
The secret word, exactly.
Last time I gave it away.
Yeah, exactly right, exactly. But that's
I've learned
good.
my lesson from that.
Yeah.
But you get a $75 free bet, so
lovely,
you're getting it for free.
So you're getting the Mounting Yard Mail. Race speed profiles are going to be high in confidence in the majority of the races. Mounting Yard Mail for $75. You get a free $75 bet rebate with bookmaker.com. So why wouldn't you? Exactly. So jump on board for that. That's our big promo of the weekend. Now, all right, Mark. As far as the track is saying, can be a little bit of a strange beast, but the feeling that I think we're getting is that saving ground around the bends and then getting wide is the ideal play.
Yeah, look, it's a fucking inscrutable track, Hawkesbury. I don't think anyone knows how to read it. I certainly don't, but my best guess is that sucking up, so like pinching ground, saving ground down the side, leading to a sort of a getting off the rails in the straight. Would be the most advisable course.
Yeah, lovely. Perfect. All right, lovely. So we're looking for...
So rails in run, off rails in straight.
Yeah, exactly. So we are inside draws, your friend, and especially from that 1,300 metre start, which we're about to talk about straight away, which is the old 1,200 metre start, which is right on the point of the bend.
It is. It's a tough one, but I mean, the funny thing is that there's about half a dozen slow coaches
in the first race, which sees Aussies Love Sport $6, Oxford Poet $7.50, and Impulsive Spirit $4. And the slow coaches on the inside.
I've got those horses like. So, I mean, I guess Impulsive Spirit, who jumped well the other day, will use his draw.
That was the one I thought would break from the pack and probably land right in the right spot. Yeah.
Out wide, you've got Oxford Poet and Fidel Astro, which we assume is getting a run because they keep telling us that Mahican hasn't got Keren.
Yep.
Excuse me. And obviously, Aussies Love Sport will be on pace with Red Gloves. Great Esteem is resuming, but could be handy enough. Riker gets Jay McDonald, and Mahican has got to work out something from out there as well. Grand Punto down on the inside with Impulsive Spirit, and the rest of them look to go back.
All right, love ahead. We any moves?
Not particularly. Aussies Love Sports just sort of easing. The 460 into 420, Impulsive Spirit. That's probably the main go.
All right, Mark. How did you work it out?
12 Impulsive Spirit, who looked dynamic at Warwick Farm. There was something odd about that race, but he has looked awesome twice at Warwick Farm and less than awesome elsewhere. But
he has a bit of awesome and less than awesome to him, doesn't he?
Well, he goes wide draw to inside draw. It's sort of there's icky bits about it. But I mean, he's returned with a spring in his step clearly. 2 Aussies Love Sport is having his second start as a gelding, and whilst sucked up the other day, was encouraging to see him put in. However, of course, he's got old convictions. 4 Riker gets Jay McDonald, 4th up, last throw of the dice. He's seems to be at the level that he should be with the rider, the best rider on the card. And 8 Mahican, who was off the boil at Warwick Farm and can certainly do better here. 12, 2, 4 and 8. I'm having 2.5 units on Impulsive Spirit and 1.5 on the other 3, Aussies Love Sport, Riker and Mahican. Honourable mention to Oxford Poet, who's been racing very consistently, but he's flatlining. And certainly you could make a case for Grand Punto here.
Yep. Alan Denham horses on the wet tracks.
And
Glenn. I'm tipping Grand Punto will be in Glenn's numbers somewhere. That's the first moral of the day.
The other thing I wanted to say was that there's a very interesting stable change there. A horse off a long spell, Justice Cosmic.
Okay, that is Jason Call from
Stephen Wilson.
Yeah, there you go. All right, lovely.
So not much of a stable change there.
Beautiful.
And Jay Coyle, absolutely. Isn't he freaking phenomenal first up, Jay Coyle?
The best, yeah, he is. The best at it.
But I don't think of this one. But
no, wide barrier, Kathy O'Hara doesn't exactly make you feel warm and fuzzy. Anyway, I've just approached this meeting with a pretty simple approach, looking for wet track, big ticks, and inside draws. And Impulsive Spirit gets that. I think he's got the best wet track numbers in the race, or close enough to it. Gets the inside run. Just want him to be front, be positive out of the draw, and get in front of those pack that you mentioned. Yeah, that's fine with me. Impulsive Spirit, 4 units on it, and 2 units on Oxford Poet. He doesn't have the inside draw, but I think he's a really good chance of just slotting in. If Aussies Love Sport comes across, he might even go across and lead, or he might end up in that 1-by-1 spot, or just on outside lead type thing, which I'm happy with. And look, Aussies Love Sport and Riker have got the ability to go better than these horses, but they are quilled on the wet track. So as you said, he's flatlining, but he's flatlining around a decent number, a number that probably can win this race with his wet track capabilities. So I'm 2 units on Oxford Poet and 4 units on Impulsive Spirit.
Yeah, look, I'm going to stick very similar. 4 on Impulsive Spirit, 2 on Aussies Love Sport, who I thought overachieved on the wet track, and maybe it's going to be wetter this week.
Yeah.
But look, I really liked his run. I think that is clearly a better form line. And yeah, look, I don't think Impulsive Spirit can be as dynamic on this heavy track, but might be good enough.
Yeah,
pretty boring, but I'm just playing it safe there.
Why not? Beautiful. All right, that's race 1. Okay, before we get into race 2, we'll just talk about Pro Bet Alive, Matt. Pro Bet Alive, Darren rang me during the week. He said, well, we haven't gone great in Pro Bet Alive for the first 3 or 4 real weeks we've been doing it. He said, but the good news is...
What's the measure?
Profit. Yeah, but
it's bigger. It's much bigger.
It's bigger than that. Yeah, exactly. But we still want to bring about the profit. But Darren said the good news is that you can let everybody know that has been my worst month ever punting. So, that is as bad as it's got, and that not that we like to believe in the boogeyman, Mark, but as we've seen with every new product we've just about launched, guess what happens?
Well,
it starts off horrendously.
All I can say is that I was very pleased to see April 30 come and go.
Yeah, exactly. Get rid of that and let's move on.
My God,
Yeah. Yeah, it's just been wrong. So look, that'll all change. As I said, you've been getting the stuff that's as bad as the selections are going to get.
Yeah.
So, but there's, as Mark said, there's a lot more to it. There's all the information. There's all the betting drifts. There's the important, red light, green lights in the mounting yard. There's so much more to it.
Yeah,
Mark's most likely firmest for the day.
The only thing we haven't said we'll do is like put people's bets on our track.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. Yeah, no.
For a commission, we can work something out.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You can enter the phone calls.
If you want to know something about a horse, about the track, we'll tell you.
Yeah, that's right, and then that's the beautiful thing about it. It's open up for the interaction. If you want a specific question about how a horse is parading, or what a market move for a horse, or just a specific question about the horse's form for whatever reason, you might have a feel for it. It's there, and we'll if you want an answer from somebody else on the course or whatever, we'll ring them and find out too. So it's plenty of stuff there for a Pro Better Live. You sign it, just go to probetter.com.au. That's Pro BETTA. Sign up directly through there, and it's still the same price, isn't it? We haven't changed it. We should have changed it, but it's $69. So the introductory offer is still introducing. So jump on board at probetter.com.au. The 2-year-olds are over 1,300 again. That tricky start. 360 Counter Attack, 460 Serene Majesty, and Salt Flat is $6. Any early plays, Matt?
No, there hasn't been too much movement in this market.
All right, Mark, what do they do lead-wise?
Well, it looks a bit steady because the Gay first starter doesn't really look to have much pace. And I had Counter Attack going forward. You remember and maybe I'm making too much of this. Remember the Delectation business, resumed for that scuzzy looking win at Warwick Farm as it's in its second preparation as a 2-year-old. Like, sat off the speed, Nash got him. And then the next start, he goes to a Saturday race and just jumps straight to the lead.
Yeah,
remember that one?
Yeah, and just sitting.
It's like
sitting awkwardly shot.
Anyway, I had Counter Attack going to the lead here because it looks slow. I've got Makoko, Kev's Babe, Dupree Saga and Savannah Rose as possibilities to go forward out wide. And underneath them I've got Serene Majesty and Salt Flat, both of whom debuted at Canterbury, one a long time ago and one the other day, just poking up. And the other Godolphin, Elysium, doesn't look to have much pace either. Could be there. As I say, Destination Tucson has come from the back in its 1050s. So.
Okay, beautiful. So with all of that, have you been able to work it out?
Well, I'm prepared to say that Counter Attack has got some springboard.
Yeah, something on the scoreboard, and the fact that he was so scuzzy in the betting there too. He was. Yeah. It was the Waller Betfair off. Oh, hang on, no, but we won.
Yes, we won. Well, Bishin was on.
Yep.
One from 6 Serene Majesty who gets the blinkers on here, and of course ran the horse that Counter Attack nosed out at Warwick Farm to a close finish at Canterbury.
Do you like the 1.5, the most recent run in the race too? I think that's appealing for that horse up to 1,300. Remember, this is 1,300.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, that's that gave a big tick for me.
Blinkers on. Look, it did have big favours with the bias at Canterbury, but he's obviously put himself. Him, her.
Who's this?
Serene Majesty.
Sounds like her.
That's a filly.
Filly,
Yeah.
She's out of custard. Red gloves inside. Salt Flat, no trial.
Maybe I got done by Agnes Banks again.
He was the one that was very
It's listed as being trained at Warwick Farm, and they're quite diligent about this Agnes Banks Warwick Farm.
But it doesn't mean they can't take him to trial at Agnes Banks.
True.
Yeah.
And
he was the one that was colty, wasn't he, at Canterbury that day?
Oh, was he colty?
the one that
He had
the old
shown
fella
out there and.
That's right.
Yeah.
Biggest ever.
Biggest ever, that's
Was it?
right.
Wasn't that the call?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Glenn said biggest
No.
ever.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember. But I do say
That holiday meeting at Canterbury.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I do. I've got to say that the strike rate. I mean, you don't see it all that often, but the strike rate's enormous for them going well. Actually, like up until recently, I was like.
Oh, the Dongers?
Yeah, no. Up until recently, we were probably about 7 from 7, but I think we're now 7 from 10.
Well, if you needed another excuse to get Pro Better Live,
yeah, exactly right. Donger watch.
Is the Donger out?
Yeah, there it is.
So 5 Salt Flat, 3 So Willie in for 4th. 1653, 4 units number 1, 2 units the other 2, 6 and 5.
I didn't really have anything to add apart from the fact that making note that the first up 1,300 metres wet track. I don't know if it's a place you want to be first up or debuting. It seems a tricky bit of business. Yeah, I think a recent run's good, and Serene Majesty's there. But
I've got
let me out.
Yeah, okay. I've got listening to Chris Waller. Maybe some question marks about whether counterattack does line up.
Okay.
Pretty much going to say that about most of his runs on the
program.
program.
The interesting thing was he goes his other horse, So Willie, has a 4 kilo weight difference there, and it's really heavy. We could just save counterattack
for another day. Yeah, okay, great.
So he just said that.
Yeah.
But they're going to have 4 units counterattack, 3 on So Willie, who I think did hit the line well. He's out of a horse that does handle the wet. So happy to have 2 on it, 2 on Destination Tuscan, has been hitting the line extremely hard and very gay, revved up to good fitness trials. And having won the place, I've already had this bet with the tab, Kev's Babe, a place.
Thomas Stewart, Gary Fraser.
Absolutely, was just travelling a while, like you won't believe, and hit the line really hard. Looks the sort of horse with 3 runs under its belt that could run a good race on a heavy.
There you go.
121s.
Beautiful.
With my fingers crossed to run a place.
Very good.
Beautiful.
Anyway.
Good work. Beautiful. All right, we'll move straight into race 3, which is the Stayers, whatever it is. An easier staying race because it starts from the chute than it had been. Last year was the first year it did that too, so it's not around and round the bends as it used to be. It's Dreamfolk $8, $4 Loophole, Sons of John $7, and Super Mover $6.
Excited Prince has gone to Wagga.
Oh, has it? Okay. Fair enough, thank you.
Cool. Yeah, Loophole, $4.40 to $4 was a mover. We had Carry On Singing $81 and $51.
Okay. All right. For
good old Carry On Singing. The only point I will make about that, for those who've gone looking for Carry On Singing, is that her wins have been after she's had a distance run.
Yeah. All right, lovely. Mark, who does eventually reluctantly lead this?
Super Mover, I have leading.
Did you? Yeah, but there's no real keen beans.
No established speed. No, Felix Bay on speed, Sons of John on speed.
Martian's led before.
Martian has the blinkers on, and he's a candidate. And Springbok Flyer, surely he's not going to start it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you can't say what was
hopeless in the wind.
Failed to handle rain affected track.
We've seen it before, Mark.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm
not even trying to get.
They can't trot that excuse out and then
they've done before.
He said also may have lost his shoe.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, well, I'm just not even trying to guess. It was worry about in the morning. Beautiful. All right, okay, cool. So not a lot of pace. Did you like anything from the plotters?
2 Martian. Last time I saw him, he was like equal favourite in a Saturday race, a scuzzy Saturday race, but at Rose Hill, and good job, Tony, trying that second up 2,000.
33 days. All that.
Yeah. Candidate destined for failure there. So now third up
with 21 days though. So he did. His first up run was a pretty serious gut buster actually. They went very quick for So
right.
Anyway, in Adelaide where he did heat it.
Yes. So I'm prepared to say that Martian has scope for improvement here.
Mm-hmm.
3 Loophole, not doing anything special. Found conditions 2 starts back and then prepped for this race.
Yes.
Prepped for this race 9 days ago.
Had the barrier trial, which I really like.
Yeah,
but it's this Loophole.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, okay.
I mean, I'm backing it, so that's I suppose it's obviously got a great chance. 7 Sons of John, who didn't do a great deal here, but does got the blinkers on in the preparatory race for this race. And 6 Rezoned is the other horse coming out of Canterbury, as is Super Mover and Springbok Flyer. 2, 3, 7, 6, 3 units on Martian and 2 units on Loophole. And a word about Super Mover, who gobbled them up at Canterbury last week. I was forced to be hard on him because of the SP with Springbok Flyer, and I wanted to say that was heavily flattered at Canterbury, but I mean, it's a judgment call that I'm a bit.
We've got his wet track numbers of being the best in the race, but even with those great wet track numbers, it still did 0 at Canterbury, and it's sort of a thing that we're finding that if you've got these great wet track numbers and you still can't register a number, you're pretty limited. But coming off 2 wins into this race is it is a bit scary to bag it, isn't it? But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. 2-3-7-6. I'm having 3 units on Marsh and 2 units on Loophole.
I'm relatively peaceful with Loophole. I love
Kumbaya.
Amazing Grace, I think, is the song of the week. Anyway, but as I was saying to Jared, you know, singing Amazing Grace and being peaceful can still lead to you being shot in the heart. Loophole, 2 units on. Wet track, yes. It's going as well as Loophole can go. It had that big win 2 runs back, and as I said, love the barrier trial in between. Looks like it's been set for 2 units in it and 1 unit on Marsh, and for everything Mark said, and can recalibrate today.
Speaking of being set for it, isn't it crazy how we have these series of races? This is the Provincial Stayers Championship, and you don't have to run in any of the races.
Oh, don't you? No, okay.
No, Loophole's just been doing his own thing in his city, like his bloody city races, and you know. Like, there's a race at Hawkesbury. It doesn't matter that it's the Provincial Stayers Championship.
All right. Okay, Matt, what did you like?
Loophole. 5 units, I think.
Yeah, you're more peaceful.
I
you're beyond.
No, that sounds aggressive.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, you're pulling the trigger.
No, everything. That last race was just a perfect lead up and handled the wet. I thought he was more than better than average at Rose Hill.
Yeah.
And I just can't say too much about the rest.
No.
So 5 units.
Perfect. All right, lovely. Mark, before we go into race 4, you have your stuff available for Hawkesbury and
the Coalfields.
Yes,
Newcastle tomorrow. Backing up at Newcastle on Tuesday, Warwick Farm Wednesday, Gosford Thursday.
I'm not sure.
Launceston somewhere?
No, Hawkesbury Saturday. Hawkesbury Saturday.
Breaking for April.
That's it.
So pleased to see the back of April, but been plugging away there, not doing a lot of damage, but nothing wonderful happening, which is about to start happening in May. So look out for Hawkesbury and Newcastle tomorrow, and keep on trucking.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly right. No, it's time to draw the line, move on for the month, as we've seen it many times before, Mark. Beautiful. And what we've seen many times before is Hot Schnitzel, $6.50. Dothraki, $7. Craftiness is $2.30, and well back, Matt, $7.50 Diamond Oasis.
Yeah, he's pretty solid, Craftiness. I think there's one joint, is it the Tab, who sort of got their nose out a little bit?
Somebody went up $3.50, and that didn't last for long.
Okay. I couldn't get that one on my flux.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, he's rock solid. And Diamond Oasis, $8 and $7.50 was the other sort of mover that I saw.
Beautiful. All right, Mark.
It's like a team race, isn't it? You got Peter and Paul versus Joey.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Because
the new Peter and Paul too. Yeah,
the Triple Crown horse
with Gerald pulling their tails.
Yeah, there's a stable change. Oh, yeah, of course, it's that Triple Crown business.
Yep. I'm all the talk leads, Mark.
Sure does, but he's got company, because Diamond Oasis is finally back up to 1100 after establishing himself as the 1,000-metre horse in Australia. Who'd have thought it? But that's the way it turned out. So he's going to be there, and old mate Zaratone, handy enough, and Craftiness probably easing out, but would take it up if required. So sitting are Harara back on the inside, Hot Schnitzel and Dothraki underneath him. I had straight Golden Houseman out the back.
Beautiful. All right. Interesting race. Craftiness $2.30. Horse of plenty of potential. Could you get it that short?
Not quite, but I'm maybe I've just been a little bit too kind to the others. It's one of those situations where I put down 2-1, and I mean, he ran well the other day, but I thought he was in a position to run well. It was sort of that weird, he'd had the run back. He was there. He was in the right spot to run well. So he has run well, but it's not like he did anything out of the ordinary as far as I'm concerned, other than run against a really good horse.
Yeah.
So 6 on top, 2 Dothraki, who 1100 looks lovely.
Yep.
And he just didn't put a foot wrong last campaign. He just happened to run into our boy Malachi, and then drew Gate 1 at Canterbury.
Yeah, and still went acceptably.
Yeah.
And looks to probably get the nice little trailing run on the favourite.
Look, not a bad race for Hot Schnitzel, I think. He's done something against 2 horses that go pretty good.
Yeah, and has been put to the sword a bit and gets the 1100 metres, and I think he's in that little bit of homosexual sort of category, and that's the right distance for horses that prefer the company of men.
Yes, and 4 I'm all the talk. 6214. I'm having 3.5 units on Craftiness and 2 units on Dothraki.
I really like Craftiness as a horse, but $2.30 about a horse. Now, I'm really worried about it on a wet track. I still think I can't be betting against it, but a few things are against it on the wet. Is one, if you have a look at the head-on from the other day, it's going everywhere. It looks at sea. Yeah, if you get a chance to have a look at it, it's going left and right, and really looks like the wheels are spinning.
Oh, okay.
So that sort of might be just a run, and to me that's a bit of a worry at $2.30. Especially now that we're talking probably a heavier track. And his wheels are spinning on the Randwick straight, which is going to be quite a bit better than what the Hawkesbury is there. Tommy Berry, keep saying I don't have any comfort. I don't have any kumbaya for $2.30 Tommy at the moment. And but then you've got him. He's a great horse. I think he's a really, really. I don't get carried away with it a lot, but he's run in basically the top 2 numbers in all of his career, and that's a pretty hard thing to do. Yeah. So I can't be against him, but
duty, isn't it?
I can't be against him, but at the price I can't be with him because he might just sink. So anyway.
Right, interesting analysis from D. Baker.
Yeah, should say Nick Ashman out of the 2 Peter Paul and Mary horses said Dothraki is the one he prefers. And that's from Nick working at the track.
Yeah, look,
How long have they been there for?
About 3 weeks, is it? Yeah, so it's.
Yeah.
You picked it up last week, so it's probably say 2.5, 3 weeks. So it's enough. I mean, it's screw down time, isn't it? Especially for Dothraki.
Yeah. Look, I'm not going to use any units in the race. It potentially looks pretty weak outside of Craftiness, and we look back and Craftiness sort of wins a soft 1.5. You're like, 2.30 was probably okay, but I'm just on a day like tomorrow. I'm not going to be betting.
It's not going to be loopholing.
No, we're all comfortable with loophole, but we're uncomfortable with who could be going to be a real top notcher.
Yeah, exactly. So. Just this wet weather that plays with your mind. I'm just not going to take the risk tomorrow.
Oh well, I mean, I think
plenty of people will.
I think the bottom line on Craftiness that I'll say is he's probably going to be a 4 lengths better horse on top of the ground, probably 4 to 6 lengths better horse on top of the ground than he is there. So, whatever that means, good as gold.
Yeah.
Sweet. Part 1.